hope everybody who's an American had a great 4th of July weekend. If you're not an American, I hope you had a great weekend anyway. I had a great time. My wife's birthday is always right around 4th of July. We got a new puppy, so we up to 5 pets and 3 kids. The tribe I got over here is pretty big. So it was a real good weekend for me. Took a couple of days off. I had some big podcasts for the Titans, for the Colts, and a lot of stuff for the Dolphins. Really intensive stuff. So I need to take a couple of days off to finish preparing for that. But over the course of the weekend, as I had some free time, I decided to do some reading. And I was reading an article about how the Bills really are starting to look like brilliant operators when it comes to extending Allen early. So as I was looking over the contract, it was very clear. It was a good move. Allen is clearly a superstar at a great price. I'm going to get a little bit into that. But it led me into looking into the contract situation, free agent situation of the Bills. Now, the Bills, some people maybe are new to the channel. I cover all teams, as many teams as I can. Bills, I tend to cover more than other teams. Dolphins are my team that I cover the most. I really love the game of football, and I want to cover many teams. But the Bills aren't my team. And I had this 3-year window in my mind sitting there, thinking that 24 is really where the Bills are going to find that window closed as far as cap and contracts and ages of players. But when I looked into it after reading this article, I saw that 2023 is going to be critical for being to navigate his team through. Now, this is not to say it's a doom and gloom type thing. It isn't. As long as you have Allen and a bunch of these high-end players under contract, life is going to be good. But 2022 has been magnified. And it really puts a lot of onus on the Bills to win it all this season. Now, again, if you're a Bills fan, one of my best friends that I grew up with, he lives in Rochester. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. We're always chatting. You guys are set up. Allen's 25. 25. And this guy is going to be elite for 10 more years easy. And he still hasn't reached his zenith as far as his cerebral aspects. So life is always going to be good as long as you have him. But this current build is going to get rocked a bit in 2023. And I'm going to dig into that. Okay, but before I do that, I want to do what I've been doing a lot lately. You say thank you up front to all the views, the likes, and the subscribes, for all you guys stopping by, because, you're not going to, this channel is not happening, obviously, without you. The same token, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, because just like without you guys, without them, without Ace Per Head, this thing wouldn't happen. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right. There was talk 2 years ago that the Bills were idiots for signing Allen to such a big contract. Well, whether you want to say they were lucky or they were brilliant or whatever, clearly, they made a great move. And the price that they got him at is looking like a bargain basement discount when you consider his talent and other quarterbacks around him, what they're getting paid. So I'm just going to go quickly through that to validate that one point, because a lot of people who might be naysayers say, well, Allen's cost it. We saw what this kid can do last year. And when you look at it, Mahomes getting 45 a year. Now, he's worth it, totally. But you're getting Allen for $2 million less per year. And you say, it's nothing. Well, that $2 million is probably about a third of your draft class, maybe a fourth, depending on what picks you got. So it's a little bit of maneuverability. They've got him signed for 6 years. So he's making this for 6 years, and quarterback prices are rising. And when you look at Watson at 46, Watson's super talented. But even if you took all his troubles and issues off out of the situation, to me, Allen's better than Watson. I see him as a much better quarterback. I really like Watson's talent, but then when you add in the character aspects and you add in, well, maybe he's going to be suspended for a year, the price difference between $46 million a year for Watson and Allen is a very big, steep win for the Bills. Dak's getting 40. I like Dak. $3 million less, though. I mean, Allen is worth way more than $3 million when you compare the talents of Dak and Allen. Stafford, he's getting $40 million. Stafford won a Super Bowl. Good quarterback, very good quarterback, but he ain't Allen. $3 million less. Rodgers, unbelievable quarterback. $50 million, though. $7 million more. That's an entire draft class per season. And he's 38. Allen, once again, is only 25. Then you got Goff. He's making 33. Can you imagine 33 compared to 43, 10 million more? Allen is worth 40 million more than Jared Goff. Wilson's making 35. I like Wilson, but he's kind of slipped and he's not in the range of Allen. He's not. I mean, he's close. He's been there, and maybe this season he'll reaffirm where he's at, but still. Wentz, 32. I don't need to say anything about that. And then Carr at 40. I like Carr a lot, but $3 million more for Allen, big win. So the Bills are winning. They had to make this move. You had to keep Allen. This is going to constrict your cap. Now, they made other moves. You might say, but the reality is they understood the window on this framework, this team build is finite, very finite. And so they wanted to go all in. Last year, 2021, I thought was a really important season that they let get away from them. And it really put all the cards, all the chips into 2022. Because I'm going to get into 2023. Now, 2023, they're minus $4.7 million over the cap. Now, that's not a lot at all. But when you consider they got 60 players on the roster, which is nice, that's a lot of players. But when you go over the players that are going to be missing, that are going to be free agents, that they're going to have to spend more money to keep, it really shows that Allen makes the long-term prognostication for the Bills very good. But they're going to have to spend some time likely reloading unless Bean can do some magic. And we're going to have to see how that plays out. But if you look at it, you got Jordan Poyer. He's 31, and he's looking for a new contract. Okay, well, maybe you'd want to spend that money on him. But then you got Hyde, who's 32, and he's making big money and locked in for a couple of years. So right away, 2023, this awesome safety duo is getting long in the tooth, and one's going to need a new contract, and one's getting paid heavy. Then you got Tremaine Edmonds, 24 years old. This is a guy, some people criticize his play. I need to really dig into it. But when I watch him play, he's very active. You can say there's some holes in his game. But this guy is so young and such a freak and been such a key piece to this defense. And I think that the Bills are going to want to try to hold him down and keep him on the roster. But then you got Dawson Knox, which you say, oh, well, he's a pretty good player. You let him go. But then O.J. Howard's a free agent. Sweeney's a free agent. Almost the entire tight end group is a free agent in 2023. Then there's Devin Singletary. I did some videos on this guy, some podcasts showing that this guy really could have a very, very good season this year. And if he does, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to sign him in 2023. Then you got Saffold, Quisenberry, Morris, Bodinger. I always mess that guy's name up. But almost the entire interior, you get Cody Ford, which most Bills fans are happy to see him go, but the entire interior of the offensive line is free agents. So you're going to have to replace that as well. The good news is 2024, Bills have like 51 million, 40 players signed. That's a lot of money and a decent amount of players. And so that 2022 season this year and the 2024 season looks to be really good as far as team build ability to surround the superstar Allen with talent, but that 2023 season sitting in the middle is going to be very, very difficult. Von Miller, you can't get rid of. He says he wants to play out his contract. He's not able to really be moved on from until 2024. And this is going to be another critical piece. Von Miller's health and how he performs with this vast amount of money attached to him. This year it's only like $5 million, but I think next year it's like 18 or 19, and then it balloons up there. But you can kind of move on from him in 2024. But Von Miller is going to be key. How this team comes out hot, getting the division win, and at least getting to the Super Bowl. I mean, if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl, it's a disappointment. And it's going to really put a lot of strain on the staff, McDermott and Bean. Not to say they're going to move off him or anything like that, but it's going to start kind of doing what happened with the Rams coach, what's his name, McVay. It's going to put a lot of pressure for them to really kind of make something happen in the short term. Because you got all this talent, you got a superstar Allen, and you kind of squandered 21. You got to at least get to the Super Bowl, if not win it, in 2022. Now, 2023, maybe Bean pulls off some magic, but they're not loaded with draft picks. It's going to really, I have to dig into the roster, and this is what I want to hear from a lot of commenters who are Bills fans about the replacements, the rookies in the background. Who's going to step up for these guys? I mean, clearly your safety duo, if you want to keep them, it's going to be big money. But can you spend that much money on guys getting into their mid-30s? And then what about the interior line? I guess you could work on that. Next year you drafted an offensive lineman. This year, maybe some of those tackles can move. I don't know. But replacing these guys that are moving off with some guys that are in the wings right now is going to be critical. I do believe that the Bills are going to be the top shelf of the AFC East this season. But next season, if the Dolphins can have a great year this year, and their window doesn't close to about 2024. So they're going to be loaded up to the gills with plenty of picks to add to that sauce. And so I think while the Bills are really loaded up and desperate to win, really need to win in 2022, 2023 is going to be the Dolphins' years. Patriots, they're kind of building the slow burn. Jets the same way. So it's this year, next year, you got Bills and Dolphins almost in must-win situations. Really going to be interesting. Anyway, just wanted to give a little coverage of this. I'm a big Allen fan. Bills fans have been really kind to me. Like I said, I got a friend who's a Bills fan. But in the end, I'm a Dolphin fan. And I do want to see you guys lose. I mean, if it's not the Dolphins, I do kind of like the Bills, especially with Allen and my friend. So, if it's not going to be the Dolphins, I don't want it to be the Patriots. I'm sick of the Chiefs. There's a couple of teams I don't want to win. So Bills, to me, would be a good win. I'd like to see Allen hoist up a win because he's a great guy. But I'm sort of a little excited that you guys are having this rough moment in 2023 in the Dolphins' critical 2023 season where their cap and money and talent and everything's poised to make it happen. So it's kind of good news for us. Anyway, as Curtis saying, thanks for staying to the end. Please like, comment, subscribe. Comments mean the most, especially on this one. I'm really going to do a whole year coverage on the Bills of a couple other teams as well. So I got to start watching some more film with you guys and get some wisdom about back-end players. Subscribes and likes help us with the Google Overlords and keeps our sponsor, Ace Per Head, very happy and keeps me doing this, which I love. Anyway, Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. See you soon. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.